And truthfully, I'm feeling you too. But we're in a situation with not much left to do. I just think I need to take a little time away from you. I'm caught up in my feelings. It's got me all confused. Somehow I'm feeling like you really are the one for me. The way I have to deal sometimes. Tell me, how could this be? I'm seeing right through your words, 'cause only actions speak to me. Just telling you the truth now. It's all about transparency. You got me in the middle. Just a tad, just a little.
Hello and welcome to Conversations with Reverend G. Here on Monday nights on WEMS Radio from 8 to 9 p.m. I am your host, Reverend Grenetta Mason, aka Reverend G. And I'm here today to bring you exciting and special guests who have great information to share. And what we like doing on this show is talking about how spirituality can be approached from a practical point of view. You know, how does it work in your everyday life? How can you use it moment by moment? So when the guests come on, we're really talking about spiritual practices, how they've enhanced our lives and helped us as we've gone through. So I would like to invite you all to follow me on Facebook as Reverend Grenetta Briggs Mason and YouTube as Reverend Grenetta Briggs Mason and on IG as Reverend Grenetta. So what I like to do is like kind of guide you through the process of finding joy and living your best life with grace and ease. So tonight I'm pretty excited because I have a special guest, Audrey Gibbons. Audrey is a singer, a songwriter. She is a vocal performance teacher, and you might know her as a childhood star from The Giving. I met Audrey at Momentum, and when I first met Audrey, we just became instant friends. You know, those people that you meet and you just click with right away. And I don't know if you guys know, but Momentum is an organization that provides coaching and workshops on leadership to support you with your personal and professional life. So a lot of the people you see here will be Momentum graduates because we have this great Momentum community. So I'd like to bring Audrey in right now and we can get started with these conversations. Hey, Miss Audrey. You're on mute and video off. How are you? Hey, I hear you.
Why is my video not?
You have to turn your video on.
I'm trying to hit start video and it will not start.
Oh, you know, there's always something that happens at different points.
What?
You keep clicking the button on the bottom, the little video start button at the bottom.
Start. Oh my goodness.
I know, right?
It is not
moving as many videos as we've done.
I've done so many, yes.
I know.
And wait a minute. This is
okay.
Not...
Yeah, maybe. Well, you know, while Audrey's looking at that, we're going to be talking about singing and music and spirituality. You know, Audrey and I, we talk to each other all the time, so this should be a pretty comfortable conversation. And I'd like for her to share with you guys. There she is. Hello.
God,
You know, it's like things happen, right? But it's pretty
what
cool.
is happening?
You're like, what's going on? So, Miss Audrey, introduce yourself to people.
Well, hello to everyone. I'm Audrey Gibbons, and I am a singer. I am so happy to be here to chat with my girl about what's happening in my world. So I've done I've been on television before. I've had record deals. I've enjoyed the world of music, and I'm happy to at 51 still be able to still share my gift with the world. So I'm thrilled to still be out here doing R&B and loving it
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
So, I told everybody that you were a childhood star, right? With the
Yes,
Gibbons kids, right?
yeah.
So I thought that, one thing that might be interesting is to talk about, like, give us some highlights of as a child in the entertainment industry, right? Things that you can remember and talk through. Were there any spiritual tools that you needed at that age? I know as a kid, right? We sometimes know that we go to church, but for you, can you kind of like walk us through some of your experiences in the entertainment business as a child, because that must have been quite interesting.
Yes. Well, I actually grew up Presbyterian. So I grew up in a
Mm,
Presbyterian church. I'm from New Jersey. I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, and we first and foremost, we were a group, and before we went out to sing, it was always giving thanks to God.
mm,
So, and that was instilled in us really early. It
mm,
was really instilled in us really early. My mom wasn't a churchgoer, but she was a prayer.
mm,
Prayed. She knew there was a higher power,
mm,
um, and she instilled prayer and gratitude in us.
mm, mm,
So as a kid, you go out there and you give it 100%, and you know that you sit in gratitude that God actually gave you a gift to be able to share. Yeah.
mm, mm. So that was a part of that prayer before supported you through it, because I was in the entertainment business, and as an adult, the entertainment business was pretty interesting because there are so many different aspects to it. And so I
Exactly.
wonder, I dealt with the artists and the finances, right? And I
Mhm.
wonder, as an artist, a child, being in that environment, the impact. Did you have like a manager or somebody that like took care of you guys and did all that, or was it a family member, your mother?
Well, actually, it was talk about the power of having mentorship and the power of education in this day.
Mm-hmm.
So our manager actually was my music teacher when I was a kid, and
Mm,
she was she actually saw something in me that that sparked her interest, and she took me and my brothers under her wing, and we put us in acting school. We went to acting school in Harlem,
mm-hmm.
and we went to acting school with Kim Fields. That's where we met Danielle Spencer
Mm-hmm.
and Chip Fields,
Mm-hmm.
and we all went to acting school together. You know, I remember being in, being, in in these small apartments, and going on auditions and sharing dresses with Kim. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you wear it to this audition, I'm gonna wear it to the next audition.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, just really just, you know, holding on to, you know, your dream, just holding
Mm-hmm.
on to your dream, as even as a kid, holding on to, this is what I want, this is who I am,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and having that mentorship to push you along the way. So, and her name just happened to be Givens. So if
Mm.
that's not by the grace of God, then
Right,
I
right,
don't know
right.
what that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so her name just happened to be Givens,
Mm-hmm.
no relations at all. So her
Mm.
name was Mildred S. Givens, and she put us in acting school. She was, you know, every time, if there was a mic, we was on it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, that was, you know, the power of actually having mentorship and having people that support you and support your dreams even as a kid
Mm-hmm.
was was something amazing, and I'll never forget what she gave me, because she gave me hope at a time
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, we were living in Newark, New Jersey. You
Mm-hmm.
know, had my mom was a single mother of 7, and
Mm.
you know, she took these 4 kids, put us in acting school, and you know, before you know, we were traveling, you know, and like I said, you know, go then, you know, what's happening? You know,
Right.
what's happening would have never happened for you know, for us without her. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, you know, encourage these children out here in
Mm-hmm.
2020 to, you know, to walk and live in their purpose, because
Mm-hmm.
somebody did it for me.
Wow, that's really special.
Yeah.
As you were talking, I thought about too. I have sisters and brothers, and the dynamics between siblings. And think about that dynamic that you guys had to have as being stars on the road, singing together. I can
Yeah.
imagine having that spiritual base kept you guys kind of in line too, you know.
Yeah. Oh, it did. It did. No,
Right.
it did. You know, just like any other sibling. Listen, there were times that we were getting ready to go out on stage, and you know, we just like we going at it, you know,
Mhm, mhm.
and you know, we get out there on that stage, and music just, you know, music unites everything. You know, once you know, music unites people. Music, you
Mhm.
know, we knew that our purpose was to get out on this stage and, you know, do what you do and do what you love, and even loving it as a kid, and knowing that even at 8, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. That's an
Yeah.
amazing feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. So let's transition and move after, you moved into teenager, at what point, I remember as I was reading your bio, you talked about you had stopped singing music for 10 years. Talk us through that transition to get to that point where you stopped for a moment. Was
Well,
Go ahead.
I well, I actually stopped singing for 13 years. I stopped singing
13.
for
Okay.
13, yeah, I stopped singing for 13 years. Um Music just wasn't, you know, trying to get a record deal back then and there, and you know, because you were in the industry, you know, you
Right.
were in the industry and you know what it was like.
Mm-hmm.
And so you know, it was, you know, we didn't have social media back then, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo for social media right now,
Yeah, right.
right? Because you know, independent artists, you can go out here on social media and create, you know, a wonderful audience. But back then we didn't have that, so you were so dependent on a record label getting you a record deal,
Yeah.
signing you to a deal, so
Mm-hmm.
that you can actually become the you know, the star that you wanted to become the artist that you wanted to become.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, you know, I went through a lot of, okay, well, you're not, you know, you're not thin enough, you're not
Mm-hmm.
light enough, your hair is not long enough, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you're talented. We love the fact that you're gifted. We love your material. However, and
Mm-hmm.
so that really took a toll on me as a young girl. Really took
Mm-hmm.
a toll on me, and how I felt about myself,
Mm-hmm.
and how, you know, how I felt, you know, that unaccepted. I
Mm,
felt
okay.
I wasn't included. I was excluded from something that I knew as a child that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And so
Mm-hmm.
to not, to not have that opportunity to be able to show it to the masses, because at that time you needed that record industry
Yeah, you
to,
did. I
to
remember taking those records. You had to take the records to the radio station, right? Remember on the days you have to go and meet up with the DJs with that record to get it played. So the industry was different, right?
different industry.
Yeah.
So I was broken. I was
Mm,
broken. I was broken. I said, well, maybe this isn't what, God has for me.
mm,
This isn't what I'm supposed to be doing.
okay.
Although it's all I know.
Mm,
It's all I
mm,
know.
mm-hmm.
And so I was broken. So I'm trying to find other things, to that maybe I should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I was completely broken. I was angry. I was beaten.
Mm-hmm.
And I was I stopped singing for 13 years. Stopped singing for a really long time. Didn't want to open my mouth to sing a song.
Wow, that's
Um,
interesting because you hear of, how life, entertainment business, when they always talk about child stars, you always hear, oh, do they make it? Where are they now?
where
What
are they
happened to them?
now? Yes.
It's that kind of story. What then inspired you to start singing again? After the 13 years, you went through your whole thing. Then what brought you back to singing again? Because you
You
make
know,
me cry when you sing. Every time I hear you sing, I just cry.
well,
cry.
you know what, Grenada, I'm so grateful and so thankful that I've always had people in my life who encouraged me, who
Mm,
inspired me,
mhm,
who said, who and I knew deep down inside, like, could you feel it in your gut? When you
mhm,
feel stuff consistently in your gut, it's real. It's
mhm,
real. You get to
mhm,
make it real for yourself. And
mhm,
so I felt it in my gut, like, and I had a friend who called me and she said, you need to start singing. And I did, because I was at a real low place in my life.
mhm,
I you know when you are a artist and you create and you stop creating,
mhm,
your life is just in turmoil.
mm,
You're just stuck. And
mhm.
so she said to me, she said, well, I want you to try out for Sunday Best. And I said, no. I said no for 3 years in a row. I said, no, I'm not going to do it.
The sound. I think you're having a delay.
Are you still there? I know my
Now we can hear you. You say you for three
okay.
years, right? And then
Yeah.
after the third year, you said yes.
After the third year, I finally said yes.
Mm-hmm,
And I went to Houston to audition for Sunday Best.
mm-hmm,
And still in my spirit, I was just like, I'm just doing this because I keep saying no, and it's just time. I knew I needed something different. Right?
mm-hmm,
I knew I
mm-hmm,
needed something different, and I knew I needed to step into the one thing that I stepped out of,
mm-hmm,
and that I allowed someone, that I allowed what other people were saying about me to allow me to step out of something that I love so much, right?
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
so now I'm gonna step back in. But I stepped in with fear, girl. I stepped in with so much fear, so much
mm-hmm,
trepidation,
mm-hmm,
so much baggage. I stepped
mm-hmm,
in with oh, what are people gonna think of me? And
mm-hmm,
I stepped in with that, you
mm-hmm.
know, and auditioned for Sunday Best and made and to be honest with you, I did not think that I was going to be on the show. Like I said, I didn't, because I didn't believe in myself.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm,
I didn't believe in myself,
mm-hmm,
and I didn't believe in. I no longer believed in my purpose. I
mm-hmm,
no
okay.
longer believed in my gift. And
Mm-hmm,
so I stepped in, And um, and before I got the phone call, and when they said, "Hello, Audrey, this is," I forgot the young lady name, calling from BET, and I want you to know that you've been selected for season 7 Sunday Best. I was like, really?
You were shocked, huh?
Really? I said, yeah. So, Sunday Best is what got me back out there singing. So I was on season 7 Sunday Best. It was an amazing experience.
Mhm.
It was an experience that also made I had to look at myself. And like I said, I walked in there with fear,
Mhm.
doubt.
Mm.
I was terrified. I was completely terrified.
Mhm.
And I felt like I did not belong.
Oh, okay, okay. Now after that, okay, so that was successful for you because you were on the show, you placed and all of that. Then
Yes.
that from that point on, then you started back singing again,
I
or
started back singing after that.
mm-hmm.
And still what I realize is that all my life I have been entertaining people, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with you, I didn't have to prove anything to anyone.
Mm-hmm. That's what you
So
know
I
now.
have been entertaining people and not really truly enjoying the gift.
Wow.
Right. And so
Mm-hmm.
all my life this is what I was doing. So that's why I'm so glad to still be able to do music, because I enjoy my gift differently now.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it. I enjoy it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't I don't have anything to prove to anyone. I get to be out there and I get to share my life experience through music with other people. It's
Mm-hmm.
a sharing experience.
It really is.
And I think that when you walk into music like that, and when you walk into your artistry, and when you walk into any purpose like that, that the joy the joy
Mm-hmm.
that encompasses a room, that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
encompasses the world, is
Mm-hmm.
is just like it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's an
Yeah.
amazing feeling. Yeah.
Right. And sharing your gifts like that, right, is
Yeah.
just incredible because one of the things, we talk about is like spiritual tools also, right?
Yeah.
And how, using singing as a creative art as a spiritual tool, right? Because,
It's
I sing and I was telling you yesterday, oh, I miss singing because I haven't been in any choirs because no choirs are meeting right now, right?
right.
But it's just so fulfilling as a spiritual tool to sing, right? So
Exactly.
I'm really excited for you to talk to us more about how you have used singing as a spiritual tool and supporting others with
Yeah.
your singing.
Hmm. So my spiritual tool, like I said, when I decided that I was going to walk in to my artistry
Mm-hmm.
and have people join me in my gift, in my song,
Mm.
the spiritual tool began. What I actually got from that was that I now sit in my authentic self.
Mm.
I'm very clear that I have no one to prove anything to. I am my show is it creates a genuine atmosphere. It
Mm-hmm.
creates and because I'm such a loving and creative person, all all I give is love.
Mm,
All I
mhm.
give is love.
Through the music
And
too.
yeah, all I give is love. And
Mhm.
so when I step on stage, my first thought is just go out and share some love.
Mm, mhm,
Go out and share some love.
mhm, mhm,
And love, and to see that love transcend out into the audience. and to see grown men crying
Mm.
and that don't know that they're crying because
Mhm.
I've chosen to sit in my authentic self.
And touch people. Yeah.
It's it's nothing better than that. That's the joy of your artistry.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the joy. That's why I create.
It's great hearing how connected you are to all of that, right? And I want to talk about momentum for a minute from the
Absolutely.
just from the perspective of we met at momentum, and it's about leveling up and being our best selves and moving to the next levels in our lives. And we learned so much about who we are, and
Who
to
we
be
are,
able to
who we
stand in being authentic. Everything that you're saying, right, resonates with me, because from that whole experience, right, I can stand right there where you're saying also,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So it's been like 4 years since we met and started this journey.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about how the experience from momentum has supported you up till now in being your authentic self and sharing your talents?
Well, momentum taught me a new language to have with myself.
Mm.
Yeah, it taught me how to it taught me how what my it taught me worth.
Mm-hmm.
It taught me um the tools to transform my life, to be able to transform how I think, to
Mm-hmm.
be able to really like that's where I got that I don't have anything to prove. Like I remember
Mm-hmm.
in basic they asked me to sing and I sang,
Mm-hmm.
and the last thing that Melvin said to me was, I want you to understand that you have nothing to prove to anyone. And that just stuck with me because for
Mm-hmm.
all my life as a singer, I have been trying to prove stuff to other people that I am worthy, that
Mm-hmm.
I am a great singer. And when
Mm-hmm.
he said that, that just resonated with me. And so in moving through momentum and moving through the entire program, that was just continuously reinforced.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so it was reinforced in me finding my worth.
Mm-hmm.
It was reinforced in me understanding the beauty that just lies in humanity, right? That I'm a
Mm-hmm.
part of such a beautiful humanity, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Um, and I've looked at some things that work for me,
Mm-hmm.
some
Right.
things that serve me and some things that don't serve me,
Mm-hmm. Right.
right?
I like that because you're able to look at both,
Oh,
right? Yes,
yes.
exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool, because I do know that you were doing those soulful shows before COVID hit. You were on a roll, right? Getting ready, the
Exactly.
shows, the music, and everything. So this year has been like really, COVID has really done a number on all of our plans and everything that we were going to do. So,
Exactly.
we also talk about like, during this time. So, would you say that we talked a little bit about this sometimes? And you spoke about how you didn't sing and you did sing, right? And we talked about how COVID could either give you this space where you can really create, or you could actually be muted during this time
Exactly.
because of everything that's going on, right? Where have you found yourself with your creativity and your music during this period of COVID?
I've actually found myself in both spaces.
Both. Okay.
I've been in both spaces. I've been muted because of loss,
Mm.
and
Your mom.
just in isolation, because I did have a loss. I lost my mom during this time, and
Mm-hmm.
you you know
That's
you
there.
you girl, you have supported me in ways
Yeah.
beyond measure, beyond measure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
um and so I've been muted. I've also felt creative. Like I'm actually doing a virtual concert at the end of September.
Okay.
So, look out for that. You'll
Mm-hmm.
have all the information. But so I've been creative. I've also been in a space of it's time for me to create.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for me to share.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for me to it's time for me to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Yeah.
said, as an artist, I think we go through both. We go through
Mm-hmm.
times that we just don't want to create.
Mm-hmm.
But then, all that creativity it gets stuck. And you need the
Mm-hmm.
outlet. So that's where I'm at. I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, I need an outlet to
Mm-hmm.
breathe.
Right. I was saying that about singing. I haven't been singing in a while. Now I
Yes,
want to sing. I want to do a show, right? I
exactly.
want to create music because
Exactly.
I haven't done it and it's just like built up to where you want to do it.
Where you want to do it. And
Right.
so
Yeah.
I've been in both spaces. I'm ready to create. I'm ready to create something something new. I'm ready to create some new music. I have a nephew who has his own studio, so I'm ready to get in and start writing some music on how because here's the thing. When you're muted, you are in a space of solitude. You are in a space
Mm-hmm.
of being able of feeling your stuff. Like you're just feeling, you're just going through it, but you're feeling it. It's so because it's so deep, and you're so deep in your emotions. And once you come out of that stage and you're ready to create, oh my goodness, you're ready to
Mm-hmm.
create from
Mm-hmm.
everything that you felt, all the emotions that you felt in the last couple of months. And COVID has taken, has taken me through a lot emotionally.
Yeah,
And so
I'm
I am
sure.
ready to, I'm gonna of course be doing songs by other artists,
Mm-hmm.
by my girls. I always do my girls. I do my Jill, I do my Phyllis Hyman, I do my Angela, I do my Shaka, but I'm gonna be doing some stuff by Audrey because
Yeah.
I have a
Or
lot to say.
you created. Um,
Yeah.
Also, we wanted to, you wanted to talk a little bit about being single during COVID, right?
Oh yeah, so I'm a single girl, right? Grenetta and I, we talked about this. So I said, I want to like, I don't think that. So I'm a single girl,
Mhm.
and I like my space. However, COVID has created a lot of me time, more than enough me time than I need.
Like everybody's like, use the space, be with yourself, right? But I have a husband, so I got some other person here, right? But I understand what you're saying. You love the me time, however, there's a limit, right?
And they say, being alone, and I think my internet is a little off right now. But being, when you're by yourself, for one, I went through loss by myself,
Mm-hmm.
living alone, and my best friend, and now I'm in the house stuck for 3-4 months.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am not afraid to say that I was lonely.
Mm-hmm.
And and I think that talking to another friend of mine, and she, you got to be open and vulnerable and honest with yourself, and I
Right.
don't really have a problem with doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And so she and I were talking, and she said, I'm starting to, I'm feeling lonely. And I was like, I am too. And I
Mm.
said, we are not the only single women who are in the house who are feeling lonely. And it's like, what do maybe we need to get a group together to talk
So you need to
about.
add some more zooms, right? Enough zooms as it
We
is.
need a group. We need to talk. We need to get this out. And it's
Mhm.
like, okay, so we can date online. We can go online and we can date and we can meet people. Um, and people can be actually who they want to be right now,
Mhm.
right? And so, um, yeah, it's been a an experience trying to date during COVID,
Mhm.
uh, and because your dating is all virtual, it's all
Mhm.
virtual dating, it's all,
Mhm.
you're talking, you're having conversation, and it's okay, you get to, meet a friend. And I think that I do believe that because you can't meet up with these people, that this is really an opportunity for
Mhm.
you, because just think, if you're talking to someone that you haven't seen in a while, and you can actually
It'll come back. Your internet is, um, you know, going in and out.
they're stuck in pause too.
It paused.
Yeah, they're stuck in pause too. So it's an
Okay.
opportunity for you to maybe meet someone virtually that's willing to be open and honest with
Mm.
you. They're not in a rush, because we're all on the same playing field right now,
Right.
right? We're all on the same playing field. We're all in the house. Nothing's open, no real entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
as far as bowling and things like that. We're in
Right.
the house. So I think the chances of men willing to be open and honest and vulnerable are right now,
Mm. Mm. Okay, that's interesting.
because of the pause.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because this is how you're going to talk to them, via Zoom, via Duo, via, and you're going to talk, and for months.
For months.
And so don't be afraid to like jump into that.
Right. Because I remember we
I'm
were
talking
talking.
to my single ladies. Do not be afraid to jump into that, because that could, you never know.
We were talking about, how some people don't want to say that they are lonesome,
That they're
right? Because
lonely.
they lonely, right? Because there's something associated with saying that you're lonely. But in this moment, to be able to admit that will then cause you to take a particular action that will support you and not be in that. But if you don't admit what your true feelings are, then how do you move forward from that?
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
And it has been an interesting time. COVID has, for everything, right? Not just for dating as a single person, but even as a married couple being in a house together, right? And
Yes.
in all of that, I always think about like spirituality. What tools are we using, right?
Right.
At
Exactly.
this point, because it takes a lot to think that for 3 months you've been in the house with the same person.
Yes.
You
I
have to
think, I
create
think
it.
that's a segment. I think that's another good. I think that's another Rev G. I would love to
Right.
hear that meeting, Grenada, with you and a group of married women on here talking about that experience.
Right. So, I mean, and that experience is different for everybody,
Yes.
and so COVID has caused us to pause, as you're saying,
Yes.
and to develop some practices so that we stay sane, because I find myself in different spaces all the time. It's like, do I want to get out of the house? Where do I want to go? What do I got to do? Right.
Yes.
So what is it that I do? I do a lot of things. Like, I got a keyboard, I'm doing a jigsaw puzzle, I do improv, right? Just to keep myself going, right? To
Exactly.
keep from feeling like I'm stuck in the house, because I've been in the house since March 19th. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
it's like creating these different things and finding, and I think that too, when we come out, if we spending this time with ourselves and being with ourselves and understanding who we are, because we really are getting to spend a lot of time alone, right?
Yes,
And
we are.
then making decisions about, what am I passionate about, right? And then how can I move forward with my passion,
Yes.
right? And I think I talk about like we always talk about spending time with yourself and being honest with yourself and being to express authentically who you are. This period has caused us to pause,
Yeah.
stop, look at ourselves. Who do I want to be now, right?
Mhm.
And then
For a lot of
causing
people,
that shift.
yeah, and for a lot of people, they've had to recreate themselves.
Exactly.
They've had to
Yes.
recreate their careers. They've
Yeah.
had to recreate themselves,
Absolutely.
um, and have had to like really take a real close look at what is it that I really want. Do I really want to go back to that job, or
Right.
do I really want to start my own business?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And and I always, I've momentum taught me that if it's in your gut,
Mm-hmm.
then that's real. That is something that you really need to explore. You
Right.
need
And
to
that's
sit
the whole
down.
thing about feelings, right? When we
Mhm.
talk about the feelings go with it. Because I always talk about, your thoughts, but pay attention to how you're feeling
Yes.
because that's really important. We always, I think our intuition is in our gut. I was reading something about the gut brain, right? And the gut brain is the brain, right? That
Right.
is really guiding you. Pay attention to what's going on, right? Which is really interesting in looking at, how you're inspired, what you're feeling, what makes you do what you do and move about. And I'm a big proponent of your thoughts create your world. Your
Yes.
thoughts plus your emotions create your world.
Yes.
So, Audrey, can you share with us what would be your top three things in, I talk about the spiritual toolkit. The spiritual toolkit is a personal kit where
Yeah.
you get to create what works for you, what spiritual tools you can use. And I've been so amazed by the different things that people talk about are their top three spiritual tools in their toolkit. And I like the idea of, sharing a lot of different things because then you get to try them all out and say, well, for me, this works for me.
Yeah.
So I'll give you time now to share what would be, say, the top three things in your spiritual toolkit.
Well, what helps me daily, and when um first first thing is waking up in gratitude, waking up and actually speaking to the universe. What is it that I am grateful for?
Mhm.
So that is one of the things that I find that helps me to really push great energy into my life from the moment that I wake up.
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
So just really sitting in gratitude and really speaking to the universe what it is that I am so grateful for.
mhm,
um I do the mirror a lot. I'm a mirror. I believe in the mirror. The
mhm.
mirror, you can't hide from the mirror.
Mm,
I speak life into myself through my
mhm,
mirror. What do
mm,
you want, Audrey? What do you want? What do you want today? What do you
mhm,
want? Like speaking life into myself.
mhm,
It's great that I have an amazing circle. You are, you part of my circle,
mhm,
and you speak life into me, girl.
mm,
And I so appreciate that.
mhm.
But you got to speak life into yourself.
Yeah, yeah,
And so my
absolutely.
mirror is how I speak life into myself.
Mhm,
Look in that mirror and speak what it is that you want, what it is that you want today, what it is that you want tomorrow, what it is that you want your future to actually look like.
mhm, mhm,
My third thing would be, I think it's my circle. I think it's I am so I as I've gotten older,
mhm,
I am very conscious of my circle.
mm,
I'm very in tune with people who, I mean, I go out in the world, and I do try to go out into the world with love in my heart.
Mhm.
However, there are some people that just don't speak to my energy.
Yeah,
And
right. I know, right?
I mean, they just don't speak to my energy. And
Mm-hmm.
so what I've learned and what because I'm in tune with my worthiness now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very clear of the circle that I want to surround myself around, that speaks life into me, that pushes me, that makes me accountable. And their
Mm-hmm.
accountability comes from love,
Yeah.
that make me that lift me up when I can't, that actually stand in for me, like really stand in for me,
Mm-hmm.
stand in the gaps. um
Mm-hmm.
and um and those are the three things that, I feel like with those three with those three things in my life, that I can really reach my highest possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But my circle is so important to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a creative person. I vibe off of people. The energies, it's got to be right, Granetta. It's got to be
Yeah.
right.
No,
Yeah,
we talk about that. The
all the
last time we
time.
talk about our little communities and the people that we have in our circle and the people that support us. And I like what you said about having a language, though. That's really important, right?
Yeah.
Because everything is in language. And how do we speak, right?
Yeah.
And finding like-minded people, right?
Hmm.
That can, speak the language. And I know we're in the world where we have to speak to everybody, but how refreshing is it when you find people, right, in your community that, speaks the same language, right? And that you can have really empowering conversations with
Hmm.
and talk to them from like this knowing, and where we're always encouraging each other, we're holding each other to our best, right? And
Exactly.
we're just like always like holding you high, right? And not letting you like get into the backstory and all of that. But
Yes.
community is so important,
Important.
right? And yeah, like on my last show, I introduced you to my little community, our law of attraction community. And I'm involved in several different little communities, right? That where, it's just great to always have this, like I have this comedy community, the singing community, my girls, all of that is important because we want to be with people. That's so much of what we want. It's
What?
like the
Exactly.
connection and being with people is one of the things that we're always continuously looking for. So I like the idea of creating community.
Yes.
So I wanted Audrey to sing, y'all, but I don't
I'm
know.
gonna,
She's like, I'm not singing that. I kept saying,
I'm gonna
Audrey,
sing for you,
sing
boo
it,
boo.
sing it.
I'm gonna
You
sing
didn't know.
for you. I'm
All
gonna
right.
sing this week. Okay, so um, I am gonna sing for you. I am actually gonna sing because our conversation has uncovered so many things
Mm-hmm.
tonight. We talked about how the world is changing. We talked about how we as people get to actually walk into our purpose and change how we think.
Yes.
And so I'm gonna sing my song that
Okay.
that I tend to do when I'm feeling like this is a great conversation. Thanks,
All
Grenette.
right.
I
Okay,
appreciate it.
let's go. I'm so excited.
Um, everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone will change, and nothing and no one goes unchanged. The young become the old, and mysteries do unfold. But that's the way of time, everyone and everything will change. There are not many things in life you can be sure except rain comes from the clouds and the sun lights up the sky and hummingbirds do fly. Everything must change.
Yay! I love you. Thank you. So, any parting words you want to give to our guest, Miss Audrey? Thank you. My heart is so filled. Right.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for having me, Granetta.
Yeah.
I really I love what you're doing. I love how you are walking in your purpose.
Thank
I
you.
love how you are encouraging the world. I
Mm.
love how you step into everything that you want to do. And let me tell you, you are a force, sweetie.
Mhm.
And you my big sister.
Yay!
Um, but thank you so much for allowing me to share my COVID experience, my experience through music. And I know you're gonna be virtually watching me on your show. And
Absolutely. And I know you have a new single on Spotify. Shout out
I
that.
do.
A
So
song.
I have a single that I did many years ago that was released on Spotify, and it's called Fine Wine.
Mm.
So go check it out, Audrey Givens on Spotify. The song again is called Fine Wine, and thank you guys so much for allowing me to share.
All right. Thank you, Miss
Thank you, boo
Audrey.
boo.
Take care.
All right, you too, darling.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye, babe.
And wow, guys, what a great show. So, thank you for joining me today in Conversations with Reverend G. I'm here to support you in finding joy and living your best life with grace and ease. Tonight, I wanted to leave you with a mindful moment, and it's so great that tonight my mindful moment is about gratitude. And it was wonderful how Audrey talked about gratitude as one of her spiritual toolkit items. And I wanted to talk about gratitude today as a spiritual practice. So, with gratitude, it allows you to be present in the moment, right? And in that moment, you think about, well, what am I grateful for? And once you start to think about the things that you are grateful for, you create this energy field of like joy and this energy field of feeling great. And as you focus on gratitude, you'll find that more and more things, positive things, will come your way to support you. So I find that in a mindful moment, and she uses it every day, but you could take a moment throughout and find that mindful moment. Take that breath and be grateful. So it's Reverend G, and I'm here every Monday on WEMS Radio from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., bringing you spiritual conversations with people from all walks of life. So I want to remind you to go out, create your spiritual toolkit, and please come back again and check us out. You can follow me on Instagram as Rev Granetta and on Facebook and YouTube as Reverend Granetta Mason. So I will see you next week and have a great week.